Sisters, my suggestion to a group of overtaxed, exhausted young mothers may seem counterintuitive and the results highly improbable. It may even seem cruel to ask a woman who feels as though she's barely surviving to make a sacrifice of time to the Lord. But these young mothers proved that it works. It works for women who have made covenants with God. Why? Because when covenant women keep their covenants, they have greater access to the power of God. The power of God flows into them, and that power, His power, generates a decrease in stress, an increase in energy, more and clearer revelation for their lives, renewed focus, courage to make needed changes, an increase in patience, and more time for what matters. That's what these young mothers taught me as they kept their covenant of sacrifice. Elder D. Todd Christofferson taught that increased spiritual power comes to us as we keep our covenants. He was explicit in his counsel that in times of distress, let your covenants be paramount and let your obedience be exact. 16 years later, I'm even more convinced that weary covenant women are revitalized as the power of God flows into their lives when they keep their covenant of service. As we keep our covenants, to what else do we have access? Joseph Smith declared that if we as covenant women live up to our privilege, the angels will not be able to be restrained from being our associates. Can you imagine the effort it took angels who pushed from the rear of handcarts as they helped the pioneers over the steep, snowy, windy, freezing, jagged terrain of Rocky Ridge? If angels can manage that, they can certainly help you and me over our present rocky ridges. We know the Lord gets His work done with the help of His angels, so could you use a little more help in your life? If so, keep your covenants with more exactness than ever before, and then ask for angels to help you with whatever you need, or ask for them to be dispatched to help those you love. In the first 2 weeks, I learned 3 things I can never forget. First, those on the other side of the veil are very much alive and not all that cheerful about being called dead. Second, they are eager. Actually, they're desperate to make covenants with God and to receive their essential ordinances by proxy and to be freed from spirit prison. Covenants and only covenants with their associated ordinances have the power to unlock the gates behind which our ancestors live. So, as wonderful as it is to know stories about Grandma, for example, that she loved peaches and poems, if we don't do whatever it takes to ensure that she has the privilege to make covenants with God and receive her essential ordinances, guess what? Grandma is still in prison. And I'm not sure just how long she's going to be cheerful about that. The third thing I learned is that we are the only church on the planet with the power and authority from God to perform these ordinances. Oh, and actually I learned one other thing. Family history is really fun, even more fun than Scrabble. So, if you'd like a little more joy in your life, a little more meaning, more heart-to-heart connections, more focus, energy, motivation, more of so many wonderful things, make time to help those on the other side make covenants with God. The power of God will flow into your life as you do.